This video is brought to you by Craven's Comic Books and Collectibles. Check out their weekly live show, auction, and sale at facebook.com/Craven's Comics every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out their inventory at cravenscomics.com. Craven's Comics, for the comics you crave.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Justine. It's so great to talk with you today. I want to start off by saying that, thank you for making this movie, because I saw it at TIFF, and I came out of the film, and I really started thinking about my own life and how many decisions in my life that I was making out of fear as opposed to trusting my instincts. And the film has really had a positive change in my life. And
I love it. That's exactly why I made the film. So yay.
Yeah. And I feel like you've been getting to hear that a lot from different people. So what is it like as a filmmaker for having so many viewers getting the message so personally?
It's the whole reason I made it. It's fantastic. I mean, really, I keep saying the most important character in this film is the viewer. To go through this themselves, to have this immersive experience. And yes, makes me, for you to say that it's had, going forward, weeks after you saw it, that's still having a positive impact on your life that's the best I could hope for. That's really what I want to have happen. I truly want everyone who sees this to become as much themselves as humanly possible, and to, and through that have a more enjoyable life and, not be afraid. So that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me.
Well, I'm glad I could tell that to you. The film, of course, for people who haven't seen it, just to sum up exactly what the film is about.
Sure. It's about the negative thoughts we have. In the film, it's called The Voice, that treat us like crap and cause us to make fear-based decisions. And I found that the more fear-based decisions I made, the further I got from being my true self. And so it's about somebody who realizes that voice is lying to them, and they start going against it, and then it comes at them harder, but they find ways to counteract it. And it's off of, years ago, I made a lot of fear-based decisions and, didn't feel myself and couldn't figure out why. And so when I got to the other side of that, I wanted to pass on the map that I had kind of found. I'm sure there's other ways to do it too, but that's what, Violet is a map to get from where you're at now to who you're supposed to become.
Yeah. Now I've heard you refer to the film as a revenge film for the years you lost. So, do you feel and I feel like it does have that kind of feel when you think about it, like somebody, on the roaring rampage of revenge to claim back their life. It's a very hero's journey to the story. When you were writing it, and when you were making the film and everything, did you realize how much of almost a heroic adventure film in real life this story is?
Well, in a way, yeah, because though the film is, about Violet, it's really about the viewer. It's this heroic journey of the viewer, because to look at your life, to start making changes in your life can be incredibly uncomfortable and frightening. But it's when where you're at seems more frightening than making the changes. You know what I mean? Or if where you're at suddenly becomes more uncomfortable than making the changes, then you're ripe. You're ready to make changes, And so that's the hero's journey, right? Is what is going to happen to the viewer's life after they see the film. So in that sense, it's heroic for each person who takes that on and says, oh my God, those are lies. Oh my God, I can have a different life without, completely changing where I live or marrying somebody else or changing, everything about my job or whatever. Man, just that perspective, just knowing that those are lies can make a huge difference in somebody's life,
Yeah.
So I knew that let's put it this way. If I had seen this at 19, like I would have become myself a lot faster than I did,
Right.
So I want to give that to other people.
Of course, yeah. And like as you said, the viewer is, a part of it as they kind of put Violet on as the character themselves. And because of that, of course, we see everything from Violet's perspective. So a lot of the other people in this film, we get to experience them as Violet would. So the two real, like, full characters in this story are Violet and the voice. Like, those are the ones that we get the most living with. Now, with Olivia, like, this is my favorite performance of hers that I've seen. And this is a movie I've wanted to see her in. So I'm really happy that she got to be a part of it. What was it that made you choose, like, Olivia for this role?
Well, for all the roles that I cast, I try to look at, as much video on somebody as I can, and then meet them in person, of course. And I'm looking for, I know the specific qualities I need for the character. And I'm looking for those. There's some absolutes, but, and then other things can be variables that can change. And it's almost like apartment hunting, you have some absolutes, what location it needs to be in, or, you need 2 bedrooms, or, it needs to be a studio or something. And then you don't know until you get there and you walk in and you go, oh, this is the place. I just feel this is the place.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like that in casting. I knew she had these qualities I needed, and I knew that the ones that were more subtle, I could tease out and expand. And then luckily, you have to get somebody who's willing, right? And so she really gave herself to the role, and that worked out great.
Yeah, no, I've heard Olivia say that she was, like, really in tune with you, and that you made her feel like not alone on set, no seclusion, and that she really felt strength from you as a director. And I know that you've talked about that there's, like, 3 kinds of directors out there: the ones who help, the ones who get out of your way, and the ones that just keep getting in the way. So of course you wanted to be the director that helps. What were the tools in your own personal approach that made it like, this is how I'm going to help my actors?
Well, I mean, it's funny, different actors work in different ways. Some want a lot of direction while they're shooting. Some would rather just have it beforehand. I mean, for some actors, you never want to be the director that gets in somebody's way.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes you have to get out of their way or help. I mean, stay out of their way and help when you need to. And I think for me, being a director is a service position. I'm being of service to this film. I know what the thesis statement is. I've got to hire department heads that are in line with that thesis statement. I've got to hire a cast that's the right ingredients to complete that thesis statement. And then while I'm working with the actors and then looking at the sets and everything else, it makes it easy to, when you know what the thesis statement is, it makes it easy to make quick decisions. And it makes it easy to see when the actors are performing, when it's going a little off track and when it's, when it's not, or when it's going directly on track, but you need it a little more. I think that's the important thing for me. If I know why the film's being made, why is this scene being shot, what are we accomplishing in this scene, and making sure that everybody's staying on track with that. So, yeah, it depends. It depends on the actor and what needs to happen in the scene. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Now, of course, Justin Theroux is the voice in the film. And I know that when you were putting the voice together, you automatically, and it makes sense because the voice is supposed to be something that is the voice that isn't you telling you all the lies. So of course it's a male voice in a woman's head. It's a totally, like, alien type voice compared to the person themselves.
Yeah.
What made Justin Theroux the guy to be the voice? Because his voice is amazing in this.
I know. I mean, look, Justin is a fantastic actor and writer too. It's almost it's almost a crime that I didn't have him on camera, because he's so good. But the voice, it's very difficult to be an effective voice actor because any adjustment you make and any qualities you're trying to get across have to be only in the voice, not in your body language, not in your blocking or your wardrobe or anything. And he's able to do that. He's very good at that. And he's very good at that. It's like this seductive, insidious tone he can take where it just gets under your skin, because that's what fear does to us, right? So he was perfect for this because I wanted that quality. I mean, and that makes it more of an immersive experience too for the viewer, right? Because they're like, oh my God, I recognize what's being said and it's sliding right under my skin, just like fear does. And
oh man, yeah. Well, no, definitely felt it in the film. Yeah. Now I know that when you guys shot the movie, of course, there were lines for the voice in the script. There was somebody on set reading them so Olivia could get, the right performance from it. But then in the edit, you're like, no, we got to put a lot more in here. So I know that, and I know Justin was fair game with that, but like taking like a bunch of lines that weren't originally supposed to be in it. So it's like the original performance that Olivia gave, she didn't hear half this stuff. How, like, was it easy or was it difficult to find the right spots in the edit to place this, to still have the same effect?
No, it was easy to know where to place it because I know what the voice is saying. I know what the voice is saying to anybody at any given moment. I mean, I put me in front of anyone, I can tell you what he's saying. So that was easy to put together. And then it's interesting, the Kuleshov effect, where there's footage of a man looking at something, and then you show what he's looking at, and then you show the shot of him, and you ask the audience, okay, first he's looking at a bowl of soup, and then you ask the audience, like, what's going on in this man? What are his emotions? And he'll say, and they said in this experiment, oh, he's obviously very hungry. You could see it on his face. And then they did the same footage of the man looking, but when they cut away, instead of cutting away to a bowl of soup, they cut away to like a woman, in a bathing suit or something. And then they come back and they ask the people, what is going on in this actor? What does he think this character? And they say, oh, he's obviously lusting over her. You can see it in his face. It's like, yeah, but it's the same footage.
Yeah.
So when people, some of the reviews are like, it's incredible. I mean, Olivia did a fantastic job, but and they say like, oh, the way she would react to everything the voice was saying. And it's like, well, that's funny because she's not. But our brains are putting it together because what she's doing and what was important for her to do as an actor when we're shooting was just hold it together, do that portion. There's let's say there's more than 3 things going on in our brain at any one time, of course. But if you just look at the 3 things, like right now I'm talking to you, right? Maybe we shoot that, right? Yeah. But at the same time, maybe the voice is banging on me. And also underneath, I'm saying, oh my God, I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this situation. I don't want to hear this voice anymore. I mean, we're very complex, right? And a lot of things going on in our brains all at the same time. So it's great that she did not know that those things were going on at the time, because, when the voice is saying things to you, you carry on as if everything's fine because you've grown so accustomed to hearing these things, right? Mm-hmm. So all to say, it worked out great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, there's one like story told in the film by a director at a party about a near-death experience with a hang glider that the person involved in it didn't even know that they almost died. And that was a true story about you, right?
Yeah, that's when people say, is Violet autobiographical? And I say, no, but that's the only part.
Yeah. So that time when you did go hang gliding, you just were having a great experience, had no idea you came that close to death, eh?
No, I was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And they're like, we're not doing this anymore today. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I didn't know any different.
Well, that's the best way to have a near-death experience, is to not know you're having it until after the fact. That's great. Yeah. Oh man. Just want to quickly finish off here by saying I really loved the film and I look forward to your next projects. And I know that during the pandemic, you wrote a bunch of scripts, and of course, all the way back in 2011, you wrote a bunch of scripts. You have a bunch of scripts there, and I know that you want to work in like AR technology and touchscreen technology. Have you found any scripts yet that fit that storytelling?
Oh yeah, no, I already have though. Like, okay. I haven't written the scripts, but I have those because they'd be quite involved, but I have those treatments. Actually, there's one that I've kind of filled out, But yeah, there's that'll come later. I call them layered projects where I'm using the technology in like AR or touch screen in order to restructure the script completely. Like, you know, I mean, this, like, I have to tell it linearly, right? Because that's how it's going to be shown. But with touch screen or AR, I can write a script more shaped like this.
Yeah.
But choose your own adventure, but this is how complicated the story is. And it's almost like when you're sitting at a coffee house, right? And there are 5 other people, and there's 2 people working there, and then there's you, and then 2 other customers. And just that small combination of people, there's so much shit going on. Everything about your life, everything happened before, everything you're going into next, and then all these other people, and then how they relate to each other. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool to, like, on touchscreen, just as an example, to have that scene. You've got your core story, but then you can zoom in to certain characters and then click through and see what was going on with them the day before. That it serves to explain why they're reacting to that other customer in that way. Or, you know what I mean? You can sort of experience the whole thing like God does.
Yeah.
You know everything about it. And by knowing everything about it, the story is that much fuller. And you can choose not to, like, what are you curious about? But if you don't, then you only know this much of the story instead of this much of the story.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That sounds like the ultimate in decompressed storytelling. I can't wait to see you explore that in the future. And once again, I hope a lot of people get to check out Violet because it was a fantastic film. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks, Andrew. And I'm so excited for you that this is going to expand in you more and more.
Oh yeah, my life's already getting better. So thank you very much. Have a great night.
Okay.